So, can
Okay.
you tell me the name of the street that you grew up on and where it is?
Yes, I grew up on a little street called Smith Street in Augusta, Maine. Our street butted up against an expanse of woods, and so we would literally be able to watch guppies turn into frogs and things like that. So a
Wow.
lot of my childhood was outdoors, in the woods, in the backyard.
Mm.
We didn't have fences really, and so everybody just kind of ran through everybody's backyard. I think part of what made our street sort of close knit, not I think, I know. Several months before I was actually born, there were five teenagers on my street, split between three different households, who all died in a car accident together.
Wow.
It was extremely tragic. And they didn't all die instantly. One of them died many months later. It happened to be the week that I was born. And my parents were new to the street at that time. And so, sort of the first time that they were building relationship with some of our neighbors was at funerals and memorials for these
Wow.
boys. Augusta, Maine is a small place. It was like 20,000 when I was a kid, and it's smaller now. So that event was something that every single person knew about. Almost everybody in the entire town knew at least one of the kids or one of the parents or something like that. So it impacted the whole community. Really was like it is a big part of the story of the street that I grew up on. Another thing that's true about the community that I grew up in is that it's very white. And
Mm.
my mother is an immigrant. We were some of the only immigrants in my entire town, and certainly the only immigrant on our street. But I think that my mom also, because of her immigrant experience, knows something about community and bringing people together and just, being available for one another and kind of like building family relationships, even though, they're not blood or marriage relationships. Something compelled her to find other Chinese and more broadly like Asian community because she had
Mm.
left, she'd been living in Boston and other cities where there is Asian community there. And there wasn't an articulated Asian community in Maine that she felt connected to. And at the same time, and this would have been like the early 80s, there were new immigrants who she recognized could use some support and friendship, just kind of like figuring out how to navigate the systems, like the school system and the healthcare system and things like that. So, I mean, I didn't know it as organizing, but I saw her organizing resources, organizing people, organizing people with power to do certain things, not just so that new immigrants were able to like get their healthcare needs met necessarily, but also so that they could be visible. And my mom started an organization called the Asian Cultural Programs, which was a statewide organization, and she was connecting with Asians around the state who were sort of like isolated where they were to come together and celebrate Asian culture. She
Yeah.
organized fairs and kite festivals and things like that, and was asking for like our, asking for city council and the local chamber of commerce and like other local businesses to support it. And so, things like fundraising and getting sponsorships and helping people understand why they should care about some of these things is all stuff that I learned from her.